Uh, I'll go through the bonus balance first. Join the community. Fuck you. I'm not joining shit. Okay, dude. I saw this Kuzembo skin. I don't think it's actually that good. Yo, Wolfie, I'm doing a patch notes review, okay? How long you gonna take? I mean, you can actually solo queue if you want, but I'll be a while. Just gotta go through it. So yeah, Kuzembo skin. Where would I put it on a tier list? I think A+. I actually think the voice pack seemed pretty good. I'd have to see the abilities. Not super hot, but pretty decent. Robot theme, I'm not a huge fan. But it's okay. A+. Stitch Creation Agni actually seems pretty fucking good. I like the plushie theme a lot. Again, would have to see abilities, but S tier, I think, from the little that we've seen and the voice pack. Same with Extraterrestrial Tiamat. This thing looks S tier. Can I hear the voice pack? Also her first actual skin. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll have to see like how they actually play and their abilities and shit. But pretty promising. Spear of Deso. So this nerf actually is not that big. I think it just puts it a little bit more in line. I wasn't a huge fan of Deso ever anyways. But I think it's fun that it decreases your ult by a lot. So like if you do get a pick with say Agni ult or Kukulkan ult, Kraken, stuff like that, you get a pick and then you get your ult faster as if you had more CDR and you have really good stats from it. So pretty good early item, like mid game as well. I think late game is when it becomes the worst because when you get a kill, like you're gonna probably be able to do all sorts of things anyways. But it's okay. I mean, 2 seconds, not that big of a deal. Just puts it a little bit more in line. So if I'd have to rate it before, it'd be like A+, and now it's just, I mean, it's still like A+, but minus, you know? It's like a lower tier A+. Ansile, in my opinion, might be dead. Granted, it was overstated for damn sure. For 2150, you got way too much. For 2250, you get 50 less power. Or sorry, not 50 less power, 10 less power. Which is actually comparable to old Ansile anyways. Like, old Ansile was 40 power with 50 prods. And now it's 50 power with 30 prods. Price went up. So, compared to old Ansile, I wouldn't rate it much higher than old Ansile, honestly. People bought old Ansile, but it might just kind of die out for a lot of characters. Shifters. I think this is a good change. Wait, this is a lie. 35 to 30. That's a lie. Again, Iris with their lies. I believe it's 40. Yep, it's 40. So, if this is true, if it is being reduced for 230, it's actually 10 prods being reduced. Which is actually fucking huge. 10 of both prods and 5 power. I don't know if 35 is correct or 40. I assume it's 40 because in-game it says 40. If it is 40, this item is borderline dead. Isn't it power? Oh wait, is it actually? Oh, it's power. Oh, okay. Whew. Okay, Jesus. Never mind. Okay, we're good. Never mind. I apologize. Okay, it's still fine. Okay. Whew. Jesus. Okay, I thought... Okay, no. It's fine. It's fine. It's still fine. It's still fine. It's still fine. Ignore everything I just said. It is a pretty big hit, though. 10 power total. But I mainly bought this for the prots from the passive anyways. The power is nice for clear. This tones that aspect down. And at the end of the day, all you're losing is 5 power, really. Because the prot passive is much stronger than the power passive. It's still good. It's not as dead as Ansile, in my opinion. Still pretty good. I think the price might be the killer. Boomba's hammer. I think... Well, first of all, I'm happy that they didn't nerf the passive. I'm happy that they nerfed the stats instead. This CDR might not matter at all. In fact, it probably doesn't. The percent pen might matter, though. I think this is where you kind of usually hit your percent pen cap at least with like the ability builds. And having this removed, it might be a little harder to get the percent pen cap, but I don't think it matters at the end of the day because you're most of the time going to be on someone's squisher anyways. This is mostly making it a little weaker against like tanks and shit, which I found very annoying when a Tsukuyomi with Boombas was out trading some tanks, which was fucking annoying. I think maybe with this, you might see a little bit of a difference. Like, it's gonna sway a bit more into Soul Eater's favor, but not the hugest nerfs ever. And I'm happy, actually. I'm really happy they didn't kill Boomba's Hammer. I think this item deserves to be strong because it's so fun. Gilgamesh, basically, I think this is a very good change. I was a little scared. Like, so when I played it, this didn't feel too strong, but the more I think about it, like, the stronger it gets in my mind. Good change here, making it a little weaker. Not too weak though, so you still feel it, but a little weaker I think is definitely gonna put it in line. And I think his jump is, this is his jump. I think his jump is like one of the best abilities in the game, so nerfing it, I think, is definitely needed. I don't think this is where they should have nerfed it though. I like the cooldown, but I think the scaling is just random for no reason. I think where they should have maybe nerfed it is like just slightly touched the movement speed. Or the lifesteal bonus. But I guess it's a start. For Tiamat, decreased healing of large. So this is just her passive. You just heal less. To 30. Okay, noticeably less. You heal noticeably less. Her passive was actually kind of strong, I think. I think you forgot this existed because she was so strong everywhere else. But the passive was also pretty strong. Decent nerf. I don't know if this was gonna really do anything at the end of the day, but I guess they have to nerf her somewhere. I think they nerf her again in the actual patch. I'm happy that this is getting nerfed slightly, this damage mitigation. I feel like it's a bit inconsistent. Like, I'll show. Say like Ares. He's channeling his ult for a little while. 2.5 seconds. He doesn't get any mid. Tsukuyomi is channeling his ult. He gets mid though. Like, why does he randomly get mid but Ares doesn't? Or like Chalk. Why does Chalk get 70% mid but Ares doesn't? Like Baba Yaga, she doesn't get any mid. She gets a shield. You know, like, a lot of these channeled ultimates are very inconsistent in what they give and who gets what. Now, I think obviously tanks getting damage mitigation, like with Ares, and I don't know if him getting damage mid is like really gonna break the game that much. I guess it might, but you get what I'm trying to say. Say for like Guan, like he doesn't get anything. But Mulan gets prots, for example. Sobe gets prots, stuff like that. And what's even weirder is Tsukuyomi doesn't even have to be in melee range to ult, right? Like, why does he get mid when he does it from afar, but Ares doesn't, and he does it from close? But then Sobek does get prots, but he does it from close. A bit of an inconsistency. So I like that they're nerfing this because it doesn't actually make too much sense with this. But in general, this whole like mitigation during ult shenanigans, I mean, I'd like it if somebody explained to me from high-res as to like why certain characters get mid and certain don't, even though like it makes more sense for one to have it than the other, you know? But whatever, good change anyways. And then 5% just to do a tad bit less damage. This ability does do quite a lot of damage, so I think this is an okay nerf. Well, Guan already got hit the patch earlier. I think, well, I was already saying that I think Guan's not that good. This might just seal the deal for Guan. I mean, I already predict him falling off, right? And he has slowly started seeing fall-offs. Like, people are not prioritizing him as highly. And I think after this change, we're getting 10 less damage at the start, which is actually a pretty big deal. And then 30 at the end. It's gonna hit him quite a lot. Might be overkill. I'm sad to see him get so nerfed so many times, but yeah, I don't know. Just having, like, being strong. He wasn't even strong for that long, I feel like. And they kind of just are fucking him in the ass, basically. Not sure if this is deserved. But sure, we'll roll with it. Decrease the stats gained from damaging an enemy god with an ability from 2 to 1. I think this is probably the least relevant. Maybe on his ult, I guess. Decreased movement speed. This is, I think, gonna be noticeably big, especially at the start. You don't max this ability until later, so it's only 10%, and it used to be 15, so that's a pretty big deal here. Noticeable, and you're probably gonna be able to catch Apollo a bit more. And then the mana as well. My god, dude, this is actually horrific for Apollo players. To have your ult cost fucking 90 mana per second. That's actually criminal, dude. Gonna go in 5 seconds. They essentially reverted the Athena taunt duration, which was actually expected. I mean, this was one of my predictions, at least for the nerf. Toned down the damage a little bit. It's still there, but I think it's more. I guess it's more like damage Athena oriented with the scaling. 10 base. I think she needed a nerf. I guess the only way to nerf her is to slightly revert what was caused. 5%. Okay, this is stupid. I think the ult might be noticeable, but this, like, 5% scaling. You're gonna do 10 less damage if you have 200 power. So yeah, not much. Decreased damage from 85. This level 1 is really big. 10 damage. Granted, I think a lot of the set kills that happen aren't close, actually. I feel like you're pretty certainly dead if it's a set kill involved. So I don't think this 10 damage affects his ganks or anything, but it does, like, make his clear a little bit worse, maybe. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Okay, change. And this one is kind of random with the physical damage reduction, but I think people were just a bit frustrated with how much tankier he actually is during... Like, Sandstorm might be his most important... In fact, it probably is his most important ability. So, rather than reducing the damage, they changed this. Which I think is a good idea, actually. It's probably a bit better than always changing damage. And the charge spray 1 second cooldown, just a slight, like, touch. Nothing crazy. I think it's, if anything, it's towards the right direction. I mean, Sobek's a little overpicked right now. Alright, so for these, the Monster Cat skins, I just want to say, I think all of them are actually very, very good. I think my favorite one is Coven Chunga. Just because of the meaning, like, you know, in my mind, Coven is the only one that I really recognize from these three. Crabrave, obviously, from Noise Storm. I like it a lot as well. These two just don't really have much meaning, like, to me, personally. Whereas Coven and Crabwave do. I would rate all of them pretty highly, though. I think all of them look very, very good. Azula Pele as well. This skin... I don't know how it looks in-game. I've not actually seen many of these in-game, but Azula Pele, very promising, more Avatar stuff. I don't know a lot of these skins. Like, I think I'd have to see them. I can't really rate them much, but I would rate all of these like SS+, Crabrave, Coven, Sullivan, and Slushy. Azula Pele, probably S+ as well, or S. It is a crossover skin, so it's gonna look weird, but I think, like, you gotta... Once you get used to it, like, you really feel it. Plus, Azula is, like, you know, a pretty notable character from the actual cartoon. But yeah, as for the other ones, I don't fucking know about them. Oh yeah, Athena recolor looks... Or not recolor, remodel looks very, very good. Fucking big fan of this remodel. I mean, like, look at this. Fucking stop doing this, man. Every time. Look at this shit, man. What is wrong with her? And then here, oh. Beautiful. Play her new voice. Can I? This is bugged. It doesn't like actually let me play. Okay, whatever. Honestly, all the skins look very, very good though. Especially these first 5 that I talked about. Just for the other ones, I haven't actually seen them in game, so I can't really judge. But very, very, very good skins. Definitely getting the Koban Changa, actually. Big fan. Quality of life. So I've read through some of this shit before already, so I kind of know a little bit of what's going on. Starter items will know, okay, in case of early surrender, the winning team will now acquire a reduced amount of MMR. Losing team still has no gain or loss of MMR or TP. The player who disconnected still loses full MMR and receives deserter penalty even if they reconnected. God bless. Decreased volume of the crowd noise in arena. God bless. I think they're just reintroducing ranked resets, which is a good thing as well. UI fixed an issue or logic. Had no in-game ability videos. Okay. Logi Persephone in-game ability videos to master new kits. Okay. Wait, good point actually. Adjusted a large list of goals to reduce the chance that they would get in a situation where their basic attacks would desync from the character's animation. Wait, if true. Wait, this is actually big if true. This is actually massive if true. Holy shit. Actually? Fixing auto desync? Tutorial was still using Hunter's Blessing. Cool. Why did they not notice this earlier? Fixed an issue where King Arthur and Yamoto were not properly banned from all infinite cooldown mana modes. Well, that's just stupid. Fucking why not have them? Fuck it, man. Fixed a series of issues on the Conquest map regarding the base gates. Base gates should now function like player-made walls when interacting with abilities that care about walls. Ricochets should bounce off them, Chernobyl can dash into them, and Giannis cannot portal through them. Okay. Achilles lore, I don't care. Nemesis. This ability will not be cancelled if Nemesis is hit by a disarm. Ooh! Bellona buff. And Faf buff, actually. But Bellona buff. Against Nem. This matchup. Hey. Some skins had cloth clipping through other pieces of clothing. Disgusting. Using default voiceover. Fixed an issue where tournament soul skill special emote cannot be used. Okay, that's pretty dreadful. You could plant more than 3 verdant growth plants. I think that's actually probably more interesting than having a cap of 3 anyways. Fixed an issue where this ability is using 30% lifesteal, although it is single target, and should be 100% lifesteal. Wait, that's actually... What the fuck? That's actually kind of a big deal. Auto leveling abilities was not working. Fixed an issue where this could cause Gilgamesh to clip through certain things. Oh yeah, I was like getting stuck inside of people and like in Fire Giant. Kind of weird. Okay, Gilgamesh. The sword will no longer mark the enemy Titan. Fixed an issue where the 5% power aura and the 3% power aura were both not affecting the item owner. Wait, what? That was not a bug. That was just a description thing, no? Or was that actually a bug? Well, that might actually be a pretty good buff. To let leaders call, if it gives you the power as well. Wind Demon. I don't actually think this affects Wind Demon at all, by the way. It's literally just 5% attack speed. I don't think this 20% movement speed. I mean, it might be a big deal, but it doesn't seem... It's not a big deal DPS-wise. It's literally just 5% attack speed DPS-wise. And it's not like you lacked attack speed anyways in Hunter builds. This Wind Demon change, I think it's needed, but I don't know if it's gonna do too much. This shell change is fucking massive though, dude. Oh my god. I mean, to be honest, it was... Okay, I don't know if it was unhealthy necessarily. Like, I don't know if that's the word I would want to use. But the block stacks did kind of cock a lot of characters. Like, a lot of characters. And I think it's a bit annoying that characters were unplayable because of this relic. But on the other hand, I think this relic might be dead. Because you used to buy it to counter auto attackers. And now it doesn't really do that too well anyways. It only does 50% less damage from basic attacks. But like all the basic attacks effects should go through, right? So say like Baka 3 or Pele ult and all that stuff. I think this item is just dead. Yeah, rest in peace, Shell. Honestly, no one liked you anyways. I will fucking buy Sunder. Fuck you, Relic. Dumb shit cunt. Shell, bitch. Oh, boys, dude, the timeline. My goodness, what a fucking item. Just think about it. Right now, 45, 10% CDR. Look at this shit. Now it's gonna have 70 power, 45, 10% CDR. It's literally gonna be Mega Shifter Shield. It's gonna be Mega Shifter Shield. With a passive. Busted. Honestly, on Guardian solos, I'm pretty sure you should be buying this item. This is fucking insane. You have nothing better to buy anyways. If you play Guardian solo, fucking just buy alternate timeline. Honestly, mid laners might even consider buying it now. Like the 25 power, I mean, it's like more than 50% increase. Pendulum is still very good, obviously, but hell, dude, if you really need a defensive option, rather than buying a defensive item, just buy a nice little alternate timeline. And then combo that with like an E-staff, you're fucking set, dude. And you're not even losing any power. Hell, you're gaining power. Add 200 mana. I'll combo as well with Book, I guess. 10 power. This is not big. I think needed, but not big. Just whatever. Added 10% CDR. I think Bomba's Spear is actually looking very good. I wouldn't still necessarily put it over Bomba's Hammer. I think Bomba's Hammer is still probably better, but it is attractive. Rather than giving you gold, the sustain's still there. Keep that in mind. The sustain from Bomba's Spear is still there. It's just rather than giving you 10 gold, you get 10% power, which is comparable to like a Protector of the Jungle. You don't get the prots, but you get CDR and you get sustain. So some trade-offs are happening here, and you actually have a choice, I feel like, right now. I think this item might be strong enough to where you would want to consider it over Bomba's Hammer right now. Mannequin's Hidden Blade. I like this change. I think it having basic attack power actually sucked dick. And I like that it's increasing to 20% current health. I still don't see you ever buying this because Mannequins sucks. Hidden Blade is good now, but Mannequins itself sucks. So probably never gonna see this anyways, but it's not an issue with this item. I think this item is actually kind of good enough right now. More Loki solo build. Yeah, you could go Loki solo and build Mannequin's Hidden Blade. Seer of the Jungle actually looking kind of nice. Doubled the attack speed, 30%. Now, granted, Protector still gives 25. This is only 5% more. So, still garbage. Sadly, Seer of the Jungle is still garbage. You can get more wards off of this, but that's about it. I think you'd rather have more stats. This fucking change is massive, though, from Warrior's Axe. Holy shit. Dude, 2 seconds off. And 30. I swear to God, you can fuck so hard with this. I still don't think it will replace Bluestone, or would it replace Tainted. But I think it's a good competitor, especially into Tainted. But it's also very, very good because it makes the early game better, and it makes the transition from the early stage to the late game Sundering Axe much easier. Sundering Axe is fucking insane, and then with this change, I mean, I think, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say it's still bad to go Bluestone, but Jesus, this is juicy. Very tempting. They're really trying their hardest here to get you to buy this. And, I mean, fuck me, I will. I'm happy, though, because Bluestone Tainted Dominance is fucking boring. Warding Sigil probably still not picked up much. I think the upgrades need a little bit more of something. I don't think the base item is actually that bad. I mean, obviously all you do is tank more, but I think Infused Sigil just needs more to it, like more stats and more bug fixing, for Christ's sake, because that fucking passive doesn't work, man. Look at this the garbage stats, and then the passive is bugged. Why would I ever want to buy this? And then Sigil of the Old Guard is only good when you couple it with other mid items. How do you fix these problems? Well, obviously Infused Sigil, you just fix the bug and give it more stats. But how do you fix Sigil of the Old Guard? I think if Sigil of the Old Guard had something more to it, like maybe if you healed slightly when they used an ability, but also gained mid. Like, say, if you get the 3 stacks, you heal like 5% of your health or something, because they already bombarded you with spells. I think it's nice to like at least have something other than just a mid at that point, you know, because the first 3 spells aren't gonna be that mitigated. Something more, you know, to it. I think the base version is good of Warding Sigil, but I think the upgrades just aren't strong enough to like warrant you buying it, especially with this Infused being bugged. What's the bug? Infused just doesn't proc properly. I don't know if it was fixed this patch, but basically, if you get CC'd, I think, when you are about to proc the Sigil, it just won't proc and you'll lose the stacks. And some abilities just remove your stacks and don't let you get them. It's pretty bugged. If they fix it, maybe it'll be good, but it still needs more stats, dude. Like, the stats are actually kind of horrendous for it. It giving, what, 25-25. That's actually really bad. Considering what the passive wants you to do, it's really bad. Whereas Sundering Axe, like 30, 32, 50, it's not great stats, but considering what it wants you to do, it works. But yeah, I mean, not bad though. I think it needs something, just might be the wrong direction, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't even call it a wrong direction. I just think that the upgrades, I guess, kind of make this item worse than it really is. Benevolence. This now gives only 1 nearby ally the bonus gold. Wait, what did they give more? Wait, that was actually insane. 8 GP5. Honestly, not bad. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it does kind of keep that... Dude, Animosity is actually so dead, huh? This Compassion Bow is pretty big. It keeps the gold gain from Benevolence, which is actually massive. Like, when you play Embrace, you won't have this. You're gonna have gold at the start, but with Benevolence, you catch up, and then you're gonna have even more gold later. So this is... I mean, fuck me, dude. This is massive. And then the Boon... I think this is actually a good change, by the way. Like, I like this direction. But again, like, I don't think you want to buy a selfish one when the selfless ones are so strong. I think maybe you buy this if you, like, aren't playing for Peel or something like that, but even then, still not 100%. I don't think this item is bad, though, but yeah. It's just that its competition is very good. Charon's Coin. I don't even know why, honestly. Why the fuck did this get buffed? This is actually so random. I mean, sure, man, but what the fuck? I feel like this is really unnecessary. Especially the price. Considering people already sometimes buy this over Shard. I don't think this is necessarily gonna make it, like, insane, but I don't understand why it was buffed anyways. I feel like it was already purchased anyways. But sure, whatever. I think the Book of Thoth buff is really good, but this might just end up being a Kukulkan buff. We'll see, though. But I think this might actually just about enough... Or sorry, just about make it so that you get enough for for it to be worth it compared to like a Rod Rush or something like that. So I think you're probably going to see a bit more book. In fact, this might even be the main item, like 1%. Like, that's actually no joke. If you get... So book gives you 1k mana, and then you get, say, like 300 from Reaver. You have, what, 14 more power. Now, again, not a huge deal, but when you put it into perspective, like, it already gave so much power over any other item. The extra 14 might just kind of push it towards being the main one. It is still stacking, so if anything, this helps the early game a bit more. Even if you don't care about the 14 late, but it definitely does like do something. I don't know. I think, dude, I actually think this buff is so interesting. The Magus buff. I think it's pretty random, but I really like it. Like, the more I think about it, I really like it. Because you could combo this with like a Typhons and Lifesteal Boots. And I think it's actually fucking sick. I love this buff. It's random, but I think it's actually pretty fun. And honestly, I wish they did more changes like that. I wish they did more changes that were fucking random, but just were fun. Big fan of the spear change. Melee renewal. I actually really like this time. This change here, that the heal is shorter. I felt like melee renewal, like when you do proc it, you're out, like, you heal for 10 or less when you proc it on allies. And it's pretty depressing. I mean, this is gonna be, what, 20 instead, but at least it feels a little bit better than you just having a potion ticking. Not sure why they nerfed the health, though, but I guess, sure, whatever. And the price call on Stone of Fall, I think this is very good. This item is amazing. I think it's really fun. And the price was definitely kind of killing it. God bless. Okay, the Persephone change, I actually went through this yesterday, I believe. I mean, I'll go through it again. Okay, first of all, I think the passive is going into a good, healthier direction, but I think it's very boring that when you die, you don't see anything. You're just in another dimension. I think that is the most boring way they could have handled this passive, dude. Like, why can't you see anything? Imagine how much more interesting it would be if you are dead and you're like running around the map, placing plants around Fire Giant, and you're like, they're doing fire. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, it might be strong, but you already fucking died. Like, at least be helpful in some way, rather than you going to another fucking planet, placing your plants, and then coming back, and them having no relevance anyways. Not a fan of this current passive with the way they handled it. If they make it so that you can see other players, I think it actually has potential, and they can even work more around that. Like, think Leoric in Heroes of the Storm. But with the way it currently is, where you don't see anyone, I think it's fucking boring and sucks. The one I like a lot, the clunkiness of the one, where you like fired it and it fucking felt horrible. Very good that they changed it. It doesn't AoE anymore. But it does slow, so they just shifted the slow from the 2 to this ability. And it's also lower cooldown, I believe. What is it? Yeah, okay, it goes down in cooldown to 10. So this ability, you can argue it's slightly worse, but it's kind of just a mix of her slow from the plants and then her initial one, and removing the clunkiness from it. So I like the change. I actually saw the 2. I think the 2 looks very good. So it, first of all, I think it looks awkward, like visually. I think visually it looks so off because the plants are just running and it's like they suck the life out of you, you know? That's what it looks like. Visually, not very impressed, but I think practically it's gonna work out a lot better and it's gonna feel a lot better. With the flowers, right? Overall, I like it. You also have that explosion initially, which is basically the old explosion from the flowers. So yeah, I think it's a lot nicer and probably will be a lot less frustrating to just kind of see a flower pop up next to you and boom. The 3 literally all they did I think is added damage to it, which I mean I don't know, I don't care. Sure. And the ult, they just made it so that you can go between, like you can go outside as well rather than just having to be forced to stay in just one radius. Like you can go outside of where the vine attached to you. I don't think you can leave the ult. I don't believe you can. But you can like move in and out, right? You are slowed though. Overall I think very good. I think the 2 might need some visual adjustments or just some getting used to, but it looks so weird and it plays, I think it will play well, but it looks just fucking weird. They suck the life out of you. Okay, they actually nerfed them earlier as well. I don't know why they nerfed this, but sure. And the stun, I think it's very lame when they do this. I don't like it. I don't actually like either of these changes. I like the changes from the bonus balance, but these changes fucking suck. This one's kind of random, and then this one is just boring. I like it when CC scales in duration as you put points into it. I hate it when it's always just like a certain amount of CC. Because you feel bad putting points into it sometimes, knowing that not everything is, or just damage is going up, I guess. It's kind of boring. Oh yeah, there's only 4 snakes instead of 6. Actually a fucking massive deal, dude. Holy shit. They're really murdering this ability, aren't they? Which was expected anyways. I don't think this ability itself is the problem. I think the problem is that there's nothing right now in Smite that can actually deal with it. So they should keep it weak until there's something that can deal with it. Then they can make it stronger. I think that should be the play. Good nerf though. I mean, can't really hate on it. Bakam now gets mana when he fucking eats a minion. So now he's just insane. Yep, he's just the best character in the game now, I think. Yep, that's it. That's just the Baka meta right now, and nothing more to it. This 3 change is actually kind of nice though. He does go positive in mana here. He gets positive 20. Not bad. Actually, not bad. Unironically, not bad, but I don't know if it will actually matter much. I think the shell change probably matters more than this direct Baka buff. But it is nice that he gets a bit more mana. I think you can even like do mannequins builds or something with him and be a bit happier with your mana. So yeah. Baka buff I think it's actually on point. And yeah, with the shell nerf. We'll see. This Bellona buff I do not think is on point. 15 damage on the spin on the 2. But okay, you know, we'll roll with it. We got something. And this ult change I think is actually kind of decent. 0.25 seconds. That's actually a long time. Pretty big deal I think on this one. We'll see how it plays out. Plus Warrior is actually getting buffed, so I think you might actually have a start item on this character. But as for this change, Bludgeon, I don't necessarily think it's bad, but I think it's so like out of the way of what you really want to be buffed that you'd even say it's bad. So yeah. Random as fuck. And just so out of place. But sure, it's something. Karen is now knock-up immune while galloping. I think it makes sense anyways. Ew, dude, dodgy buffs? Fuck's sake, man. What's getting buffed? So she just gets 5 more base here, so that's 20 total damage. That's it. And 10 damage on her 3. Okay, it's not actually that big. I think this one is the one that matters more than the 3. Normally, this is like high damage based off scaling anyways. And this will help her early game. Decent buff, actually. I don't think it will put her over the top, but actually noteworthy, I think. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fafnir. His 1 and 3 are... They actually fucked up the icons, apparently. But his 1 and 3 are getting lower cooldowns. His 3 is just flat 3 seconds lower. And then his stun is going down in cooldown. Fucking massive buffs, actually. And I didn't even think he needed it. That's a big, like 2 seconds off on his 1 and 3 on his 3. That's actually pretty fucking big. So yeah, I don't know. So when it comes to competitive, this character is always like... He's always there, lurking, you know, just waiting for his time to shine. And keep in mind, Sobek got nerfed as well. Ymir is still a top pick, but the Faf change, this is kind of fucking big. Maybe even the biggest buff of the patch. Because most of these other, like this character and Baka, both got buffed more by Shell getting nerfed, right? But this Faf buff, fucking massive. 3 seconds off his 3, and then his 1 is 2 seconds. Which is like his best abilities. I mean, his 2 is nice, but like, my god, dude, the having 2 seconds off your stun is so big. Yeah. Massive buffs for Faf. I think he's gonna rise up quite a lot in the meta. 5% scaling on Hera Polymorph. Not a huge deal. And what's getting changed with the shield? So it's just oh, okay. It's actually a buff, yeah. Well, overall a buff and the buff level 1, which is kind of nice. Normally this is the ability level last, so having more HP on it plus more per level is gonna make it so much better, I think. Good changes actually for Hera. I would have liked to see maybe something around the 1. Like, in my opinion, the 1 feels the worst to use on Hera. Because I feel like the delay on it feels so awkward. I think the 2, if anything, was probably the last spell you'd want to buff. I think the 3 is fine to buff, though, but the 1 is like... I feel like the 1 is what makes her kind of awkward. Because you're not really confirming that ability unless they're already CC'd. But at that point, fucking any mage is gonna do damage. So yeah. This is actually a decent change. Normally cooldown changes I think are pretty big. 2 seconds off on his 2. Granted, this is the last ability he maxes, so this is only like a late game thing. I don't think he's gonna be that much better, but noticeable. And important to keep in mind, I think. I like what they did with Medusa, actually, with the anti-heal thing. I think they should look to do more anti-heal in general, by the way. I wanted to talk about this at some point as well, but considering how much healing there is in the game, why is there not much anti-heal in the game in the form of like base anti-heal in a kit? The last one we got was Cerberus, I believe. And the one before that was Coquelin. I mean, we're talking season 5, I believe. This is season 5, and Coquelin is season 4. Was the last anti-heals getting added into the game. Why don't more things have anti-heal on them? Like, say, Bellona, like, why doesn't Bellona 3, for example, like, why me attacking someone, like, why doesn't that anti-heal them? Or like, fucking, I don't know, Bastet, rather than having just damage, like, why does she not have, like, you know, you're wounded and shit? I don't know. Like, why is not more anti-heal getting added into the game? So, you know, back on track with this Medusa change, I think this is actually pretty good. It rewards a more aggressive dash. And you can be a bit more aggressive more often with the dash cooldown as well. I don't think this will affect her late game at all, actually, but maybe. It's just gonna make her more aggressive early, basically. Okay, this is actually a good change for Mulan, by the way. I was talking about this as well when I was playing Mulan a bunch when she got first changed. How her one animation takes so damn long that you miss half of the buff anyways. So them extending this is nice. Same with the 3 here. Also, one more thing to point out is a 1 second style, not a 0.8 seconds. So this is basically the Bellona buff, but on her 3 rather than her ultimate. And of course, 2 seconds on her prots. Pretty good changes overall. I'm happy with especially this one with the attack speed. And I think her 3 definitely needed like just a bit more. Because I found it pretty annoying when you 3 someone. They're actually the first ones to act, not you. And with this, I think you're probably going to be the first one to act. Which is actually very important. So, will she be insane? Probably not, but step towards the right direction, if anything. And that is it. That's the patch. Good patch overall. Very good patch overall. Actually, insane patch overall.